is 1-1. Both the teams are draw right now. For those of you who don't know, so Crucifix, the teams are ready right now, so we can talk a little while. So Crucifix, what do you think the possible bans and picks are going to be in the first two matches? We have noticed Chip being banned a lot. So do you think Chip is a common ban? I mean, it is pretty understandable banning Chip, but then Chip was nerfed in this new patch. So what do you think, Crucifix?
He's still worth banning. You know why people pick Chip? It's to make that Avengers assemble moment. Dude, that guy just brings up a whole squad out of nowhere. Imagine that happening in BGMI. Just like, okay, all of a sudden you're facing one versus one, and then all of a sudden three people just pop out of nowhere and then they're just shooting you. That's something that you don't want to do. Like, you don't want to deal with. Now that, put it in Mobile Legends, okay? You're fighting one person, okay? And that person just brings up three other people, four other people, and he immobilizes you with his shortcut. And that's just so much harassment coming from that chip. But to counter the chip, of course, there is Carmilla. There are heroes to counter that chip, but it does not always transition into a good ending for them, you know?
Well, I mean, that is true. Like, Carmilla can kind of counter out the Chip, but if Carmilla does not kind of, like, what is that word? I keep forgetting the words that come in my
If
head. I mean, it's
Carmilla,
stuck in my head,
it's
but
all
it's
right. It's
not
totally all right.
in.
It happens to the best of us.
Well, what I meant is, if Carmela does not time out her ultimate, well, it's kind of a GG's for whoever has Chip, because that
True.
is kind of a turning point. So Shazzy, what are your thoughts on the bans and picks this time?
Indeed, Nomi, timing is everything in these team fights. Timing, positioning, and that execution is what lacks, and whoever lacks on it ends up losing out the entire game. But this time around, again, the Suyu is not working out lately. You want to focus around those early game skirmishes, and whichever team picks that Suyu is not being able to execute them to their favor, as well as the alpha is something that you want to kind of put on the ban list again. Whoever picks that alpha has a huge dominance in those turtle fights, along with those team fights. Though that spear of alpha with that low cooldown is something that you don't want to deal with unless you have a job that can bully the alpha right from the early game, or at least hold on to the domination. So these jungle picks is something that is a concern for both the teams, and I'm quite excited to how they will be dealing with these jungle, as well as the roams are going crazy. Meanwhile, we saw Apex shining in one game. We saw the side of the roamer of Aijin shining in one game. So this time, let's see who pulls up the trigger.
Well, I mean, you said whatever you said is true, and then I am pretty excited to witness the third match. The first match was also the best of three with three matches going on, and this match is also going till three matches. And I am pretty sure that even the viewers are waiting eagerly to see which teams is going to win, because IGN and ABM, they are on a draw score right now. So this last third match, not last, but game two, last match will, kind of
Be the
like
decisive
decide
blow.
they will decide
Exactly.
who will take the win. So Shazzy and Crucifix, you both can take it away from the draft.
Holy Shazzy, my friend, my brother. I might actually just lose all of my money that I bet on IGN after that first performance that they had because, well, ABM has become serious after that first match. They're like, nah, respect just disrespected us, and that's not going to happen this time around. Then proceeded to win like champions. Like, damn, they actually just snowballed throughout that game.
Indeed, correct. ABM is very well bent on making you bankrupt tonight, but we'll only find out the outcome after this draft phase. We'll have a good idea of which side is looking for this series win. This time around, though, we might expect a story that happened in the first game. We might expect a repetition, as you know, the red side in this series is quite unlucky. Sikkim sticking
Yep.
to their standard banning strategy, getting rid of the Khalid instantly. It's as if in their voice comms, it's like as soon as you have that first ban, just remove Khalid, Khalid hata, Khalid hata. They might be spamming that in their VCs, and that's again Khalid removed. And the Matilda. We saw Matilda shining like crazy in the first game. Another
Yep.
respect ban, another valuable ban coming from Maharashtra. Gatot, who was the first pick from Maharashtra, has been removed as well. Will we see that chip ban, which has been banned out very frequently in these matches? Maharashtra loves to ban it, but we sometimes want to see Chip in the Land of Dawn, those Avengers assemble moment, those crazy five man rotations that come from Chip. But unfortunately, Chip won't be there in this game, as well as the Alpha. So that's a good band there from Maharashtra.
Yeah, after seeing that first match, sorry, the second match with the Alpha, they have to ban him because IGN want to win this game, and there's a lot on stake for them, and that's actually going to be a tough game. The pressure will be on for them, but then again, ABM can take it easy, even though they lose, even if they win or lose. Actually, if they win, they win. You know, congratulations, guys. Well done. You give an amazing performance in the second match. But if they lose too, they still have a spot on the LAN event. That's kind of like it's all right. We can just take it easy. That's what their motive was in the first game. But talking about that, they made a fatal mistake and allowed the Zushin to be open for IGN to pick. Do they have a counter strategy? Did they allow it on purpose? Because they banned out the Alice. Alice is pretty good, but she can be taken down pretty fast. Angela could have been picked or banned in the second phase. That's questionable. But the Alice gave way to that Zushin pick, not something that you want to see because that butterfly lady just picks you up, tosses you around, plays with you like she's your her doll, and she's just a 10-year-old just throwing things away into the sky, you know?
Indeed. So the Zuzan being opened out might just be the bane for the side of Maharashtra. But again, just getting that one mage who knows very well to harass is not the end of the day. Because he lacks on that early game damage. Maybe a Cecilian or a Valentina pick could counter that Zuzan. But okay, it's going to be the Eve that has been taken by Maharashtra. Another commendable mage who knows pretty well to deal with the Zuzan with that range advantage that he has. And we can see the Suyu, the bad luck for both the teams has been taken by Maharashtra this time. Quite a gamble here.
True, true. Maybe Ryu is looking into actually clear the name of Suyu after the first two matches because any team that had Suyu was on the losing side. Maybe Ryu will actually pull up his top A game to make sure Suyu gets the respect he deserves. But talking about that, real world manipulation from Yves might as well just be the chessboard where team IGN might lose. That could be the possibility, but talking about that, Edith gets picked onto the side of Team IGN, that tanky hero that can actually just return back from the grave from dot HP to completely turn a team fight around. That's just like my main hero, Argus, by the way. Total respect to the Edith mains, out there. But that hero has a fatal flaw, and the fact is that you need to actually be around your team because Edith cannot do everything alone. Once she gets hit by CC in that ultimate form, the primordial wrath will not be able to save you. And talking about that, two gold laners to match up against each other are going to be Aaron the Creator picking the Harrieth on the gold lane and the Lunux getting picked in by Radium, which is good actually, but again, I actually have trauma from being melted down like butter, so but I hate Linuxes.
This trauma might be refreshed in your minds
Oh no.
by when we see Radium going crazy on that melts. And ideally, I would say since Harith is a life stealer hero, he relies a lot on on those chrono dashes. Lunox might actually shine in this gold lane matchup, and especially once he builds that anti-heal, he might cause a lot of problems for Aaron, the creator here. He might not be the creator anymore, but just be destroyed one after another, and the creation part might just take a back seat in this game. Meanwhile, we can see the Hilda gets banned out along with the Fanny. So we know that Respect actually goes crazy on that Fanny. But we have not seen him play Fanny. The Fanny has completely been removed from his hero pool with those uh, on-time bans along with the Hayabusa, the MVP of the first game. We saw Haya going crazy with those 1v1 pickoffs. So the banning department has been very well taken care of by Maharashtra here. The final ban is left from Sikkim. We might be expecting a roamer ban, most probably a Grok, or one of Apex's heroes, maybe the Jawhead or the Hylos. Okay, never mind. We forgot the Hylos that actually let Apex shine in the second game. So again, both the teams really doing well on the banning phase. Take us to the second pick phase, Crux.
The second pick phrase is going to be Grok because, well, Apex as well might as well just pick the hero that he's most comfortable with because that Grok is actually, oh, it's going to be the Grok. And we see that Grok is going to do a lot of damage in the Land of Dawn today because that wild charge, he's not going to stop. Nobody can stop that guy once he starts charging in after putting that wall down. But you know what else is going to be unstoppable force? It's going to be that Tigreal with a Sacred Hammer. Both of them are just going to push people away. Grok pushing people up into the air, and Tigreal pushing people up until the end of the duration of Sacred Hammer. And I guess Respect might pick the Ling after the nerf, even though the nerf is hard. I've done the math, okay? The actual damage that Ling had was 123. Okay, the
Ooh.
123 is totally fine at level 15 because his what is that level scaling with the damage, the physical attack that he gains from level scaling is dropped from 8.25 to 6. I've done the math and I've seen that
Hmm.
even though you have lost around 33.25 what do you call it, 33.25 physical attack in the late game, it does not really matter because even with 90 physical attack just coming in from the levels, you're basically getting most of your damage from the items, and that will actually be valuable to know. Ling is not done for yet. It's actually still a viable pick, but you know what else is a viable pick? That's going to be Yuzong getting picked on the EXP lane to counter that Edith. And that's going to be the first time that I've seen Yuzong getting picked, you know. I might be wrong. Today, I forgot to mention today, but that's the first time that I've seen Yuzong getting picked today.
Indeed, but Crux, you know what? Jay is known for that Yuzong pick. This guy has no limitation on that EXP lane hero pool. You ban the Gator, you ban the Khalid, he'll still pull up. And that was his Yuzong pick actually changes the games. But as we talk about Jay's Yuzong, welcome back, y'all, to the Land of Dawn. IGN will be fighting in a do or die situation. This final game will be the decider whether was respected enough or the roast from ABM is too much for IGN to deal with.
True, and talking about that, you know, which, even though he has the Zushin, Grok's first skill does provide a lot of immunity. Yves getting caught off by the Concussive Blast and the Sacred Hammer combo has taken half of his HP as damage. But then again, if you guys noticed, okay, there is a change on the spell Regeneration, that green spell that everyone has in the first moment you enter the Land of Dawn. There has been changes to that, and that's added boosted amount of regen to the health and the mana. All of that actually pairs well with how squishy heroes tend to have, issues in the early game. Now they won't have that anymore.
Indeed. So we are kind of getting to the brawl meta where you don't have to recall that early towards your base, but we can see Apex scouting the map. Link going in has that level 4, but the flicker has been baited from Abhi here. Both the teams will be looking for something but the Tempest of Blades.
The Tempest of Blades has been used to no avail because everyone is still too far off from being an easy target for that Ling. But you know who is an easy target? Ling with just 20% HP. He will have to go back. And that butterfly lantern, that just pulled up that heavy grok. Surprising. I didn't know butterflies could lift up a piece of rock, a piece of a mountain. That's kind of bad, Mobile Legends. Come on, make it lore accurate. Make grok immune to butterflies, man.
But we might see butterflies with the power of friendship are able to lift mountains, and Grok is not that big of a mountain. So we might see the Grok zoning out the Ling, but Ling is still in his red buff. Might look for the steal here.
Will get the steal and will use a Blade of Tempest, but the big black dragon has been coming up out of the skies. Real world manipulation was used. Edith has taken the kill onto that Yves and that Grok. We will also see that kill onto the Suyu from the Ling, and we are seeing so much coming in from the power of friendship. Double kill for both the Edith and the Ling. Damn, that was a good team fight. 4-1 ratio onto the side of Team IGN. I think Suyu as a pick, and also anybody on the blue side will have an auto win, and Suyu is a definite loss. You know, I don't know why. Why is it that Suyu is making people lose now? Surprising. And, oh, by the
It
way,
is.
by
Yeah, go ahead.
I forgot to mention
Oh no, Crux, you're
I
lagging a bit.
forgot to mention. Uh, uh, hey Shazzy, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here. I think you lagged, but it's fine. What were you saying? Can you
I
please
was
repeat?
lagging. I was lagging. I'm so sorry about that. I thought that you were lagging, and no, my bad. Totally my bad. But guys, I was thinking about it, and I realized Pekkas from Clash of Clans actually have butterflies as their main weakness. It's actually written in the COC wiki. Butterflies are the main weakness for Pekkas, and I guess I can understand why Grok is kind of like able to be lifted up by butterflies. Totally my bad, but yeah, a good thing to know, you know?
Indeed. So Grok is basically a P.E.K.K.A but made out of rocks. But
Yup.
keeping that aside, the domination from Sikkim is pretty evident in this third match, and the lore, the caster's curse that the Suyu doesn't seem to work anymore, and whoever is on the red side is coming to be pretty true in these skirmishes. The turtle being started by ABM here, but the whole side of Sikkim are in this turtle pit, and they won't be allowing them to take it for free.
Yep, it's not going to be a freebie, but however, we might actually see anybody. It's a free for all. Anybody could actually take the turtle with a retribution well timed. Both of them are level 7, so it's all the matter of the last hit from the retribution, which, giving a lot of zoning, Apex is not able to actually get in there. We see the turtle has been reset, but the big black dragon form has been used. Apex escapes with a dot sliver of HP, but you know that Yi will be taken down even with the real world manipulation because 4 people are there, but the Edith also goes down. We see that Chaos Assault has been used by the Lunox, but the second skill is enough to do enough damage to get the kill. Apex, not Apex, sorry. I think every tank player is Apex, but Yu Zong Jade gets the kill onto that Tigreal. Kimmy is going down, and what else is going down? The bot lane tower, if nobody is going to go there to defend.
What a turnaround of events. Crux, a 4 for 2 trade. The turtle has completely been left out like my dating life. And um the curse has finally been broken. Maharashtra breaking the red side curse, making that comeback in that turtle skirmish. But is IGN looking for something here?
It's not gonna happen because IGN will not be able to steal that turtle. Respect has to escape because he does not have enough mana. He does not have the blue buff. Not the mana. Why do I keep calling it some weird things? Oh, okay. It's not the mana. It's the energy. He does not have the blue buff, so he does not have the energy ready to actually do anything. He has the ultimate. However, he does not have the energy. Chaos Blast has been used. The wall has been used to protect Team IGN from getting assaulted by the Lunux, well, because the name of the spell is Chaos Assault. Haha. But all three tier ones have been taken down from the side of IGN, and none have been taken from ABM.
Indeed, but ABM might be looking for something. Apex is here in the vicinity, will be looking for the wild charge, but the is missing. Wild charge being used defensively, respectful plays coming from Apex, unlike the first game. And this time around, it might look like anyone's game, but Respect on that link needs to find the backline. We saw him focusing on to Apex in the previous team fight, and that resulted in Lunox free hitting on IGN's lineup. So this time around, let's see if Kimi can catch those backline, the Lunox as well as Abhi early in these team fights, as we badly need that for the side of IGN here.
But we see the big black dragon has been used and will be able to not get the kill on the Ling, but he will go down to the top lane, to actually maybe secure a kill. But the implosion sacred hammer combo has been used, catching Yuzong J, and also that Harriet will go down so fast from the Suyu's damage, from the HP based damage, but the Lantern is looking in for maybe a kill, but the flicker has been baited out for no avail because Ling is there to actually strike anybody who escapes down with that second skill. That crit damage is piling up because he already has the Berserker's Fury and the almost has the Haskell's. Almost. He almost has it.
He almost has the house closed with respecting Radium, not committing to that play, waiting it out for this first Lord skirmish. Both the teams pretty even on the gold, but there's a mere 2k goal lead for Maharashtra. Doesn't really mean a lot at the 8-minute mark, but the team fights are completely being dominated with the front to back combination coming from Maharashtra. Meanwhile, Kimmy did find a good implosion, but it is not on the right targets. You would want to make it on Radium or Abhi, or most probably the better decision would be catching both of them. But he is making reactive plays to the plays being made by Maharashtra here. We can see a 1v1 between Respect and Ryu. There's the Tempest of Blades. Both the junglers respecting each other's positioning, but we can see Retri is there on Ryu. He might be looking for a steal here.
Yeah, he will be able to seal that, and so that was gonna deny Ling a lot, but unstoppable for Ling for that disrespect coming into his jungle. But Yuzong J might actually be biting off more than he can chew in the bot lane. We see that Lord fight. Apex is almost down, will be able to escape. Ling did not see him. He did not see him. Don't tell anybody, guys. Shh, because Apex just silently walked away.
Apex indeed getting out of that situation, but this time Sikkim will be focusing on that Lord. The jungler is here from the side of Maharashtra as well, but there's the retribution from Ling. So safe hands there. Radiant will be next to be focused on. It does use the Chaos Assault, but it won't be enough. Respect sacrificing his life for that goal lane pickoff. We have Jay onto the backline, secured the kill onto Aaron the Creator. A 2-for-2 trade right after that Lord secure from Sikkim.
Not really looking good for the side of team IGN, because even though they actually got the Lord and everything, the gold gap is not to their favor. They actually have the gold gap against them, and most of their towers are still up. In bot lane, we see that Lord is marching, and the tier 1 might finally be taken down because Edith was not actually there to take down any towers. However, Yuzong Jay got all the free towers that he wanted. He was able to rotate as much as he could.
Indeed. So that overcome it there from Ling as well as Aaron the Creator might not help IGN results get a lot of value from this Lord push. Just one tier 1 tower, which is not the best outcome, but there's one thing going in IGN's favor, that they are slowly and steadily evening out the goal lead, and the tier 1 top lane will also be taken from IGN. So the curse is still being maintained, but in a much better format than that game 1. It's not a one-sided game anymore as we saw in the previous two games, and I'm really happy to see both the teams fighting it out till the last minute.
I agree, both teams are fighting it out, but I have a question. Shazi, I realize I play Ling a lot, by the way, but I
Hmm.
realize that Ling can get 100% crit chance with just emblems and literally just two items, Has Claws and Berserker's Fury. But I see right now that Respect went for three items. That's going to make his crit chance 140. What do you need more than 100? Because if you're at 100, you will literally be doing crits 100% of the time. You have 140. I agree. It might be a good idea to get like the movement speed from the Great Dragon Spear. However, you could just go with the Berserker's Fury and the Great Dragon Spear. Why do you have to use Claws? You could go for something more important, like maybe the Rose Gold Meteor or something that helps him survive more, because he's being taken down pretty fast. His HP is going down very fast. He's not taken down as much as many times that we'd want to see, but he is going to have a hard time surviving in most situations. He could benefit more
On
from a Rose Gold Meteor.
Honestly, Crux, the Rose Gold Meteor is a valuable item that Link could go for. And for me, personally, I go for the Has Claws as well as the Berserker combo because the Has Claws enables you to lifesteal in those tough situations, and it is a huge outplay potential item. Meanwhile, more than 100% on the crit chance is something that we are both confused about. Maybe Respect didn't do the homework as Crux has done, but we can see the Black Dragon form has been baited out. Will Jay find any value out of this? He goes in alone, strong and steady. Apex is here.
Will have actually some value because both. Okay, wait. Yeah, Tigreal has half HP. Kimmy has half HP, and the ultimate from which has been baited out. That would be very valuable for ABM in any case of a good team fight coming in on the Lord, because Luminous Lord is very important. And we see that Respect is kind of like thinking about going back to base. He does go back to base, not looking like there's going to be a Lord fight. We see Apex, though, flexing that Layla taunt. Well, not taunt, emote. It's not a taunt. It's just a tongue out Layla emote. It's a cute one. I like that one.
Well, who doesn't love Layla emotes? They are all our first love as far as OG emotes are concerned in this
Yup.
game, but this time around, the Luminous Lord is something that both the side of Sikkim as well as Maharashtra have their eye on. They both are not desiring to make a single mistake. Apex scouting out the map along with Witch as well as Anti. Both the sides will try their best to not make a mistake, but we have a concealed play here.
Conceal play flicker has been used, has been baited out. The black dragon form has been baited out. We see a lot happening because Tigreal is too far away. Kimmy is too far away to save the Harriet, because the Harriet goes down. Aaron is down, and also the Lunox gets the kill onto that. Oh, okay. Countering that, Ling just gets the kill on the Lunox. He does get the kill onto that. He does get the kill on the witch, but he gets taken down pretty fast. Not a valuable trade because, well, even if you use the Chaos Blast, oh, we see a lot happening. Edith gets taken down by the Yuzong, Jay, Ryu, and Yves, Ubhi, all three of them taking down a Yuzong. Sorry, not Yuzong, Edith, EXP laners. My bad. But Ling is using the ultimate, the Blade of Tempest, to escape, not looking like there's gonna be much happening. The Lord will be able to. No, the Lord will be taken down pretty easily if Tigreal does not come back in time.
Indeed, what a macro play there by Maharashtra, singling out Aaron the creator as well as Witch, bursting them down even before Kimi can provide any form of assistance to his mage as well as his gold laner. The side of Maharashtra chunking down the Lord super low. We have Ling here.
The real world manipulation is not enough, but it will actually be enough. That will put her in a bad position. But Ryu is not going to actually be able to take any kills. Edith is going to secure double kill. Killing spree for Yves, a double kill for Lunox, and Harriet gets the double kill. Triple kill on, oh my god, that was a lot happening because there was two sections, okay? One section, everyone was dying on Team ABM, and the other one where Harriet was just chasing. The Lord has spawned. That would actually be a little bit of a setback for Team IGN, but I think that's going to be GG's because Harriet has used the Zaman Force. Apex is not going to be back in time. That will be an easy game. I totally messed that last part up, but Well, it was as chaotic as my brain gets during winters.
Well, that's Crux brain freezing, but you did a really good job at describing the comeback that IGN did. What a turnaround of events. Maharashtra felt that we got the Lord, we will get this team fight, and we will be ending this game with that push. But we have Aaron with that Uno reverse, finally showing us that how valuable his Harith pick is, completely owning this team fight with the help from which, and we saw that even though Apex, the side of Maharashtra, secured that final Lord, this is finally IGN getting a win, a series win against ABM, showing their domination and showing us that ABM are not undefeatable. They can be taken on, and as well as even though the first game was a troll game, maybe from the side of ABM, but a serious gameplay from ABM can be counted, and you can win against one of the best teams of India here.
It's all about execution. 40% execution, 60% draft, but the execution is there. And talking about that, when you mentioned that even ABM can be taken down, Kratos, I remember that guy when he said, "Can gods bleed?" And yeah, that was running through my head. And I guess AB can bleed too. Well, not actually a god, but they are pretty darn good at what they do. And we all know that they can be taken down if you guys work hard enough, if you guys actually have the sync. You guys could get onto this stage and be the best of the best too. That is, of course, if you're willing to try, it's all about getting off of that mindset where you're just like, nah,
Hi guys, I'm so excited to tell you that I just received my cosplay outfit. I am so excited for the Bucky's Cup. Also, just to let you know that the prize money for Mobile Legends cosplay event is 25,000.
What? 25,000?
Yeah.
Like for real, 25,000?
Yeah.
Carol's best-selling knives and utensils set is now on sale for Black Friday. These are knives that is truly worth.
Yeah, I know. And if you do not make it, if you don't have a good start, yeah, cookie.
뭐죠?
허니
이거는
6,800 그거 허니보다 지다 안 보죠? 그냥 6,700 300 허니 맞아.
Leave all of a sudden what you could have
허니 고기 맞아야.
competitor to get out of the way early.
이거 뭐지? 새로운 얘기하는 거야.
To claim it again tomorrow with at least at some point come into play, not necessarily the first move. We know that phase one doesn't hurt too bad, but I mean, depending on how long this takes, that's going to really ruin the rotations for these two teams later on. Well, I mean, you say that. I would say for Navi, not so much. They're usually the last team to join the circle, especially when shuts off usually a loot spot. So they're accustomed to say, you know what, we'll spend 5-6 minutes here. We'll come in when phase 2 pops because that's what we normally do. 17 on the other hand, whenever they get the Chinky pick out for free, they're usually the first move. Yes, they're in the center of the next circle. So they are, in fact, a team that I would say, if this holds out for too long, they start rotating it. That is definitely not the timings that they would normally be going. But that's assuming that either one of these teams just gets a clean wipe, right? And so we don't even know if that's the case. So most likely won't be. Yeah, especially with these two. But kind of shifting our focus now, look at the Sonics here, who are comfortably sat on the west side of Hacienda, just actually at San Martin. So they found a couple targets there, and that's going to be Day Trade just had a nice split for themselves. As we're looking at them near water treatment, that's a difficult split to hold. I will say that split that Nurance is currently in, that's one of the strongest positions in the circle on that high ground compound. Day Trade played phenomenal day yesterday, 48 points day one. They usually a team that get things going as tournaments go on. We always look at them last day of group stages, right there because they get everything going. And then sometimes they get it, sometimes they fall short. That's what happened in PGS5. This time around, phenomenal beginning to the day. On back to 17 and Navi again, I mean, Navi right now, they have kind of won the positioning battle of Mikau. They're on the northern side, good house calls up there, the circle is headed in that direction too. So if they were to look to disengage here, I think Navi right now is in the better position to do so. 17 really taking their time for this one, and it makes sense. They don't want to, I think the thing is they know exactly what's happening. Also, I would say, since this is, let's call it for now, 17's real estate, if this is a draw and they leave, Navi does, that's kind of a win. And 17, yeah, because they came in, didn't do anything. Yes, they delayed them, but they didn't really do much. As you can see, it was big info as well. Ike slept back in the game. He's come back to join us, taking those subs. But there's all conversations we had there. We'll break that down as the games go on. As Jake said, the most expensive sub in fantasy history. True, over 30,000. I mean, he is worth it though. There's a reason that he's so highly. And I'm very curious to see how Petrichor now does perform with him coming in at PGS 6. Because disappointing finals there at PGS 5, Petrichor 14th place. It's very few players that are guaranteed points in fantasy, both fantasy and the actual standings themselves. And I think Ike's rating in that regard is up there because of it. I mean, even if Petrichor has a horrible day, still gets 10 points, 9 of those came from his shooting. So exactly, he is always going to guarantee both his team and whoever picks him in fantasy something positive. And now I say that he's going to die like 6 times today before 10 minutes. So I'm sorry to anyone who picked him.
Yeah, I said 14 plays. It was actually 15 plays in PGS5. But as we're kind of watching the slow burn happen, I do want to talk about something that Poro and I noticed yesterday when it came to the circles and how they're played, especially in the early game. When we looked at PGS5, most of the teams actually ended up fighting up on the edge. Now, when we came into PGS6, I kind of expected the same, but actually much more of the teams have centered up early than they have in PGS5, simply due to the issues that they had on the edge. So we're seeing now in the rest of the circle, most of the teams have already set up towards that central area of water treatment.
I'm all smiles that you're saying this because we didn't even talk about having this discussion, but I have a good addition to exactly why that happened yesterday that I will bring on in just a second. I'm just, leaving a little bit of a, let's not do a 5-minute discussion while there might be a fight happening. But again, it seems like Na'Vi have come in here and we call it a win if it's a draw. But as we said too, 17 would have wanted to go early.
Yes.
I mean, it's like, you're going to join the blue with us? We're just here to be roadblocks. We're here to be nuisances. And right now, you can see how Suju and the boys are running around looking for them. Na'Vi is just preventing 17 from playing their own game.
Yeah,
while not really losing out a whole lot themselves. Ooh.
They've taken control of the north, which in a hot drop in Picado is pretty much where you want to be. As you say, you cut off a lot of those rotations. The only real way to go is south, and you have to do this wide wrap, so it's not great. And I agree with you. Na'Vi is doing exactly what they wanted to do. Sure, they would have wanted to wipe the team earlier, but this is also good for them. And as you said, they're looking at their watches like, hey, guys, we're usually here this late anyways. What's going on?
You guys in a hurry? Well, we're not. Xiaobei across the street looking for Ferris. They have a Hagatori lockdown, at least until Warriors. You can see Suju heard the footsteps above. Think it's still in the same building they're on. But little do they know, Ferris on the roof before actually we're set on the other side. But Na'Vi in a 2-2 split again keeps on backing off out towards the edge of the city. And maybe eventually they'll just hop in cars and leave and going, haha, we forced 8 minutes of your time in the city.
And I really, like we somewhat touched upon it. I love the confidence coming out from Na'Vi. You know what? 17 is a dangerous team to hot drop. We're going to do it anyways because we believe that we can do it. At the very least, we believe that we can make a difference. This fight for them and kind of ruin their game necessarily without losing anyone ourselves.
I mean, 17 never got Picado Pachinki for free. They battled for those two cities for years. And, well, they're the victors. And as we were saying now, we said, you know what? I think we've stalled them long enough. Let's just go to the circle. We were in the north side of the city. We were able to get our vehicles. Now we can leave. And a few parting shots here from Sushu and the boys. They, I'm sure, are pretty annoyed that not only do they delay their looting, they cause them to change tempo in their rotations, and also, well, they take their
took their vehicles. Exactly. They took their vehicles, and so now Na'Vi will come in late, as they generally do.
This is their timing.
Nothing changes. Now 17 have to be the ones to adjust. Now, we've seen 17 be able to make these adjustments, especially when it is coming down to those late rotations. But again, that is not how they like to normally play. But now that we have a small break, tell me what you wanted to talk about when it came to the
I want to talk about day trade in particular, and a big reason to the success that they had yesterday is that while we oftentimes see you have hard shifts, we had quite a few of them yesterday, massive rotations come immediately after. Teams do like full 180 rotations to the opposite side of the circle. This one, the opposite of a hard shift going dead center. But day trade yesterday were able to set up kind of 2/3 of the way through those rotations and just hold people off. I talked to Belmont coming into today's games, and I asked him, do you feel like you had more space yesterday? And he was like, yeah. And I said, you know what? You earned that space because you were making those initial rotations that a lot of teams will backfill on, but you stopped in the spot that the third team making that rotation normally would, knowing that what's in front of you now. And again, this would be much easier if I could illustrate it somehow, but well, knowing that in front of you, you would have way more space to maneuver. So really smart rotations. Ascent didn't opt to engage on it. Gen G opted to hold back. GNL, like 4 big edge teams, tried to do so. But now let's take a listen in to Ike's lift while he's on rotation.
长久以来的一些小问题吧，然后就感觉状态不好被放大了嘛，对一些团队上的配合、小细节，甚至是决策上的问题吧。我也不是说我一上来可能就会把这些东西变好，但是我会尽我的能力调节一下队伍，让队伍的氛围好一点。毕竟就是上来打指挥了，压力可能会有一点，但是我希望能跟队友很放松的去打这个比赛。
Something we always forget about as well is the fact that, you know, Ixlex is also their IGL. And the way that he frags so hard at IGLs is just cannot be overstated of just how difficult that is.
They were swinging back and forth for a while. I mean, Summer obviously coming from 4AM as an IGL came in. They were splitting the role for a bit. At one point, Ixler said, you know what, I just want to shoot. Summer took over IGLing for a bit, but now Ixler is back, and well, obviously with Summer being the one being benched, he's saying, you know what, I think I kind of want to IGL again. Let's see if this is going to work out. But right now, not quite so. Mill down already.
FaZe currently in a fight with Petrichor, and a team that just desperately needs to start strong here. I mean, yesterday was probably one of the most disappointing days that we've seen in a long time for FaZe, but they also do, I mean, they generally show up.
This is the world's first reusable cotton swab. It can remove up to 10 times more earwax. Latest studies show that traditional cotton swabs are not good for your ears. There is even a warning on the box telling you not to put them in your ears. Instead, specialists recommend a revolutionary new device called Tvidler. It was designed by a team of European ear, nose, and throat specialists. They learned that 2 in 3 people over the age of 38 suffer from severe earwax buildup and don't even know it. The most obvious sign is hearing loss, but it can also take the form of random headaches, fatigue, or even memory loss in seniors. While in-office earwax removal can help, most people either can't afford it or end up waiting over 6 months for an appointment. So, they use cotton swabs or other bizarre methods that end up pushing earwax deeper, leading to punctured eardrums infection or worse. These doctors realized the public needed an alternative, so they set out to build a safe and affordable earwax tool that anyone could use. After a year of intensive research with the European otolaryngology experts, Tvidler was born. Just snap on one of the 6 silicone tips, insert it into your ear, and gently twist to remove the earwax. Thanks to its patented spiraling design, Tvidler catches all of the built-up earwax and automatically pulls it out of your ear as you twist it, gently guiding out all of your unwanted earwax with no risk of injury. The antibacterial silicone tip works like a soft corkscrew. Simply rinse it with water, insert it into your ear, and gently twist to remove your earwax. In less than a minute, you'll have perfectly clean ears. It's safe, fast, and painless. Tvidler is made to be easily
up when it comes to their final chance. So the possibility is good. More importantly, the position is great in the circle.
I would say outside of urban fighting in compounds in the beginning of games yesterday, here we see the aftermath of the slow approach, hot drop, little ghost, and the 17 boys getting their rotation game going finally. But outside of what we saw in the fight against Eternal Fire yesterday for FaZe, I think they too were victims of what I alluded to with Daytrade just cutting off so many of the edge rotations. They normally FaZe are used to do those wide reps, but they were running into teams holding back because they didn't dare to go past Daytrade, therefore caught in awkward situations early on, game after game after game.
But 17 was involved in that.
Yeah.
That big kind of mess for FaZe as well, because they were the ones that ended up taking the shots that also completely hindered Eternal Fire's push before they eventually got that one wipe from the Mad.
And that's what always happens, right? When you have hard shifts going one way or another and teams don't opt to do those wide reps, the center or like the circle you shift from just becomes that much more of a cluster, and you can't really fault anyone for going down trying to get out of there. T1, haven't really spoke too much about them. The Korean team coming in here, their first showing now, PTS6. Curious to see what we're going to see from Ian and the boys. I will honestly say I don't have high expectations from them here.
Yeah.
Having said that, I feel like I saw signs of improvement from their career performances coming into PGS 5. So let's see now as the circle shifts south what they're going to do with it.
This is such a rough circle to play. If you're not already set, we talk about it all the time. If you're not currently set up in this circle between Hacienda and Cruz, there is so little to play, and it causes so many issues. Meanwhile, Sonics have managed to make themselves a little spot there on the west side. But even talking about T1, watching back PGS 5, their biggest issue that I could take away from was that they would always start fights and they could never finish them. And some of those fights that they started against numerous teams were in their favor, but they just could not finish the fights. And that's a really difficult thing to just fix, right? If it's communications, if it's big rotations, if it's small rotations, macro, micro, whatever, but they just could not win a gunfight.
I feel like Korea as a region has never been overly famous for individual mechanical gun skill until Danawa came around and showed, oh my lord, they actually know what they're doing. But then Danawa split kind of watered the beverage that was Korea, and now we're back in a situation where rotation game on point, lockdown of splits on point, individual prowess in fights where we at a global stage need that to be the case. Oh, just not quite there.
I mean, I would agree with you to the extent of excluding, you know, Pio and Anagas have always been just insane. But I agree. Now it's starting to really get to that level that you're talking about. So we see some shots being fired through. Correxy will find Ice left, and that's a big knock to start off for FaZe.
Important ones, too, is all the replay there for them running side by side with Petrichor Road, having found two of them already. FaZe finally getting something going in an early game. They're sat on the northern side of the circle here. If they take down all of Petrichor, I think they're going to be well aware that they're playing backs free, but Ming has managed to sneak into the compound where it's currently just Corexy and Gustav.
Chewy also pushing on backside of that compound. Now both players from Petrichor have made it through. Chewy will find Gustav, so he'll be the first one to be knocked. And now it's going to be Corexy to answer.
Now it's the decision making for Corexy.
Like I've earned 8 lakh rupees out of this just in 1 week. So sir, basically I'm making video now every day, though it's a closed video, not for everyone, but I'm making since last 6 days now. I'm consistent. And secondly, I've closed one deal. So like I've earned 8 lakh rupees out of this just in 1 week.
8 lakh, 8 ki ek, 1.
8, EIGH.
8, wow, congratulations. Lovely, super happy for you. 8 lakhs, and how come it happened?
Just that actually I was attending morning 6:15. I'm attending every day. So morning affirmations and everything is I'm doing. So a confidence have come. So now when I'm talking to customers also, previously I used to think if they will say no, this and that. So I'm okay. If not, then you please go. You explore the market, you check, and then you'll come back. So yeah, no, we'll get it done from you and all that.
Good.
So I've started my part-time now.
Wow, 8 lakh rupees. I hope it's more than 5 times of your salary, if I'm not wrong, almost, right?
3 times, yes.
and less than in time, because you spend
To do a go over to try and prevent the flush on my teammate. Oh, not Tian! CC 108 coming in clutch for correct.
Doing, and I want you to guys break down the draft right for us.
Hi,
Like, what do you
Ajay.
guys expect in the draft?
That was actually a very beautiful introduction. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I couldn't stop smiling. My jaw hurt at this point. All I want to say before we start is Sasuke, Datte Bayo. And now I'm passing on it to
Alright.
Sasuke. Break out everything.
Alright. I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. And you know, Shade, that was the longest introduction I have ever seen, and my jawline was hurting a lot, like smiling, and I was literally a statue. Like, come on, man, just end it quickly because these teams, I know, like these teams are the best because they made it to the top 10, and definitely only the best of the best would be going into the LAN and the tournament. Needs the best of the best. The worthy only teams would be, lifting down the trophy of the Northeast Cup. And I'm really excited to see what kind of draft they would bring up because we have received a recent patch update. A lot of, shenanigans could be played off right now because when the draft, the patch notes released, my brain was, just running miles per hour going with ton amount of permutations and combinations, like what could be the next hero, what could this item affect the new heroes or the existing heroes, or how could a particular hero rise up right now. And my predictions over to the gold lane would be Beatrix along with that Irithil over to that Maleficent revamp. I mean, that would be just absurd because you get a total of 30% critical, not a critical, but a penetrations, and pair it up with a Malefic roar, you got a total solid 60%, man.
So, so you said, Sasuke, the recent patch was lot of changes were in the recent patch. So, what are the heroes that are in the meta right now, and what heroes are the most good heroes on the mid lane and in the gold and EXP, and what are the picks we are going to expect from the both teams, and Sasuke and Dats and Sons, their draft is very bit of a weird draft, I say. You cannot even predict like what they're gonna pick. We have seen the Bane on the jungle suddenly, and we have seen Akai jungle suddenly. We have no clue on what they're gonna draft. So what do you guys expect for this today's match? Because all of the chats are watching us. So what are you gonna tell to them?
Based on the revamp, not a revamp, but changes over to the Fanny. I think like Fanny could really work well into the mid lane, except if you don't want to prioritize in the hyper section, because if you are a hyper, you need to prioritize your blue buff, you need to prioritize your farm over to that jungle area, you need to prioritize over to the creep and the early aggression, which Fanny is really good too. Would lag sometimes, but if you kept it in the mid lane, you have that aggression which Fanny could really provide you, ganking down the enemy jungle, pulling down and shutting down, cutting off the farms from the gold lane, and do a ton amount of things. And if you have something tanky or something magical or physical jungle like a Fredrin in the jungle, you don't need a blue buff in the late game. So Fanny could have that blue buff, and into mid to late game era, you can do the do the shenanigans like a split push with a Fanny that could really come in handy. But also there is a certain mage which I'm looking forward, that is the Farsha, because the ultimate, the Feather Ash Strike ultimate, 26 seconds cooldown. That is the basic cooldown in all levels, level 1, level 2, or level 3. It's all the same. And with having certain cooldown emblems in your cooldown sets in your emblems, you could probably go to 18 seconds cooldown. So you would be having, every 15 to 18 seconds of Feather Air Strike into your handy, booming that marksman, that mage to the enemy. That would be really, really good into the mid lane though.
All right, guys. Sasuke have said everything that I wanna ask him. He have said everything. So with that being said, I think I have to become invisible right now, and I have to hand it over to the caster to take this game away. I think the stage is set. So let the draft begin.
Yep, I mean, let's just jump right into the draft because the game number one is already up, and as she just mentioned, daddies and son who is representing Arunachala is going to be on the blue side, having the priority of the first pick. Meanwhile, Team Assam is going to be on the red side, taking on to the second pick. So the draft, first phase of the draft ban is going to begin. And Sasuke, I'm really guessing they're going to ban out those Fanny, Suyo, Zushin. As I mentioned, Zushin, they actually even banned the Zushin. So Chip, they kind of left Chip open in one of the games recently, and I saw it was still quite a troublesome hero. I think banning of Chip is important now. I mean, they even banned out.
Yeah, yeah, banning out that hero is a mandatory thing because the amount of utilities he bring to the table in the early phases of the game, he could literally turn off the tides, bringing your whole team together in a certain point. Like he would be the literally the mastermind of the game. When you have it in the game, is really really irritating, and you never know because from the four holes or from the four portals, you never know like from which one he would pop out and use down his ultimate and bring out the whole team though. So panning out would be a really great options, and that's why we see in every game in this tournament that chip is a mandatory priority ban for the second phase, second the red team itself. And looking at that fanny ban coming in handy, and also into the side of exp lane we might see also a khalid ban or maybe a suyo ban, because those two heroes are really troublesome and nobody wants to deal against them.
I mean, I completely agreed. Just leaving that Khalid open, and it's not just that he is troublesome in the EXP. People play him even in the roam position, and honestly, more than EXP is quite troublesome in the roam position, is what I personally believe. So, it would be good to ban him out, but we can see that Matilda is going to be banned out from blue side, and swift ban, although you don't want those guiding wings guiding you in directions which is going to uh, give loss to your team. So it's quite smart to ban out that Matilda as well as Suyo, as you just mentioned, Sasuke. Meanwhile, daddies and son has the priority of going for the first pick. And whoa, is that already locked is my question, because damn, going for Chow first pick.
Oh, seems like Doom is in a serious mood, locking down that show. He is looking for that. You know, it. We should probably show them the Interstellar Council, like who are the real dads of this game, and picking down the show. I'm really excited to see the kind of the plays that sets Doom will make, and it is one of his favorite hero or the signature hero of the doom, and he performs really really well, bringing down some crucial aspects to the game with the way of dragon. He marks down the perfect member which needs to be marked down at the right time though. So yeah, I'm really hoping to see that kind of a play, but Angela at this time is really a questionable pick. I personally believe like, oh okay, with a joy. Now here's the thing, smiling. You pair Angela with a Joy, you get an amount of shields, and like Joy is really a good, quite a good mobile hero with electrifying beats on his hand. He will be just dealing a ton amount of damage to the back line, especially the Sicilian. He might be having some trouble in this game.
I mean, knowing Joy already has that mobility and the speed, which is highly, hard to control, and you just pop that Angela right on him. It's going to be such a troublesome. And recently, if I am not wrong, Joy was kind of buffed in the patch, so might be troublesome, very hard to deal. And yep, Sicilian might have a tough time though, because come on. Although if Dome is playing that Chow, and usually Dome is the roamer, he is going to be in the roaming position. Is Angela going to be in the mid? Not sure yet, but there are possibilities they can shift. But meanwhile, Team Assam going in with that CC pick, Sicilian, as well as Tigreal, that's actually locking down that mid exp and Rome. But we'll talk about that later, because the second ban phase, the final ban phase, is already up. And as you mentioned, Irithel is quite troublesome. We don't want to see Irithel in any lane. I mean, if she's open, you just quietly pick her just to deal the damage from behind, because she is going to roar very hardly. So smart plan coming in by Team Assam. Meanwhile, Arunachal going in with that Moscow ban again. Moscow, yep, deals a lot of damage. The way both the teams are limiting the pool at this point, locking off that Beatrix as well. Although I think all that left open right now who can deal that much amount of damage is probably a Clint, or I would say not just Clint. Bruno was there. Bruno is banned. There is Clint. There is one more I think who is really good right now, but I'm not recalling that Sasuke. But yep, these are the bans done for this first game, and the pool is so highly limited. Do you think they're going to go in for the Harith pick? Although they went in for the Lunox.
Yeah, that's really good because even though they don't want to go with the Harriet, that could be a really tough times. But picking down a Lunox into the hands, making sure that Arunachal are restricted to pick down from that Harriet, because in spite they lock down that Harriet, Lunox will be there to counter him left and right, and along with the Tigreal, you have the implosion, you have the second skill. I forgot the name. Yeah, Sacred Hammer. It would be just too devastating, and I like the fact that Assam banned down that Irithel, because we know like it was an old meta, the M3 M4 standards, the Angela with that Irithel, you got a ton amount of mobilities, and with that heavy crossbow she has into the hand, along with the new buff item Mlbb gun into that Irithel hands, it would be just too devastating. And the damage would be just melting down the whole team of Interstellar Council, which are representing Assam at this point, would be into a mess, though.
I mean, that is the possibilities, that can be the situation. But the fact that Assam haven't picked their hyper yet, that is going to be the last pick, which is very, very crucial. Just to know, who is going to be the hyper, who is going to be the one dealing insane amount of damage. And there comes the Fedrin pick. I mean, recently Moba did decide that, Fedrin was very good. He was tanky, but after, bringing back the junglers into the lane, they kind of knocked that Fedrin down, and it was high time to bring him back, and they actually did. He has good amount of tankiness, he has the damage back, so yep, they have the tankiness, they have the front laner, they have the damage dealer from all possible ways. And I'm not just talking about a single hero or a particular hero, it's each of them. And knowing that Angela is going to be in the mid against Sicilian, I feel like Sicilian will have the advantage to clear out those minions quick, give those quick rotation, which is highly required. And it's not a huge task for Lunox to get the shutdown on 1-1 as well. So if you ask me personally, I would kind of favor to team Assam at this point. They have kind of good draft, but again, Arunachal might just be as surprising as we expect. And yep, guys, welcome to the land of dawn. This is whoa, what just happened?
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I mean, I'm quite not sure like what just happened at that point. Maybe some kind of a technical glitch or something. Which probably think, I mean, they do might have something. But talking about the draft which was picked, it was a straightforward draft for the side of Assam. I mean, yeah, Assam, Interstellar, yeah, Assam. Sorry, I forgot like which state where they were representing, but it was a quite a straightforward draft. But for the side of Dadson Sons, the Arunachal Pradesh, uh, it was kind of a marking a draft, because in the mid to late game era, you need to prioritize that Van Van would be the one to carry down your whole team, but there was the Sicilian, the one and only counter, the one and only threat that Van Van would be having that the trouble against the Sicilians. So Joy was supposed to mark down. Joy was supposed to mark down that Sicilian, make sure he gets him every single time in every single team fight. Then only then they could prioritize the Van Van into the gold lane, and along with the Angela, you already have that shield and the tankiness which Terizla will be providing it. So I'm really excited the amount of draft or the possibilities that Arunachal Pradesh bring up to the table. But I'm really, to be honest, I'm really excited to see how well they will be performing it, because it is the execution which matters into the game. No matter how well you're drafted, how well you have, cut off or choke off the enemy in terms of drafting, in terms of banning, it is all come to the execution. And if if
I
Dyson
mean
Sons
that.
executed, yeah, if Dyson Sons executed well, I mean, it would be a first and foremost point into their table.
I mean, yep, that can be the situation, but just a small mistake made by us was that dads and sons are not representing Arunachal, but we are representing Team Meghalaya, which is the situation, and we will be starting this game quite shortly. Directly into the game, we'll be jumping. We won't be showing you the draft phase, anything. Meanwhile, since Shade is already connected with us, he can just let us know what he thought about the picks which were already been picked at this point.
The Q pick coming from them is very interesting, and that's in sense that guy is really good at Chew. And Joy pick, I was very surprised by the Joy pick because the Joy can easily catch Sicilian. And yeah, I guess I have no like interest. That was a good draft coming from the both teams, but we have to see it again what's going to happen and how the game is going to take it over. So, what do you guys think about the drafting phase? How the team has to keep in their mind while doing the draft? Sasuke and Smiling.
I mean, see what Dads and Sons really did at this point is knowing the Dome is mainly known for that Chow. They had gone in with that pick. They are going in with the comfortable pick rather than going with, what is in meta right now, what actually matters, or going through the meta phase, which usually we see in the tournaments where they're going with exactly the same picks in each and every game. But bans are, yep, they were meta bans, but they're going in with their comfortable picks. So I think that's something which actually was different in the whole draft. But meanwhile, talking about Team Assam, they kind of had the meta heroes as well as the recently buffed heroes, which actually have quite a huge amount of damage. Is what not is what I
Really
am
good
not
at
going
Chew.
to lie
And
about
Joy pick,
Sasuke,
I
but
was
yeah,
very surprised by the Joy
I would
pick
still,
because
cheer for
Joy
Team
can
Assam
easily
because they
catch.
have the advantage. They have all the
Yeah, because
possible
I just know
situations to get the victory. But the game changing is if Joy actually manages to deal that much amount of damage, just jumping into the backline, making sure Lunox is not even able to pop out a single ultimate from any of the side. That's something that's something which we can just wait and look forward to.
So
Yeah,
Sasuke,
man.
which team so Sasuke, I have a question for you. So which team you think that have won the draft? Which side you think, based on the picks?
I mean, now that's a really tough questions, because basically I have to agree. I like the draft from both of the teams, but something and for the favoritism, I would choose the Meghalaya draft, the Dads and Sons, because those picks are really spicy, and I want to see those kind of picks, those kind of heroes getting up to the top. Joy in the jungle, it's really good options, and also he deals an amount of damage and electrifying beat. You have that dashes which basically immobilize the crowd control which Tigreal will be providing you, and you got the electrifying beat to mark down the back liners, which is really an essential target for all the hypers. And Joy with the damage he will be providing, he would be doing ton amount of good things though.
I think
Yep,
game has
and
started, so casters take it away for us.
yep, welcome to the land of dawn, you guys. This is going to be the game number one between Team Meghalaya and Assam. There was quite a glitch, but we are back with the game, and it's going to be quite interesting because the junglers are already in their position. They are doing what's so not, and for some reason, Tigreal is having a little tough time to deal with that Angela and Chao combo, which is coming in. Although in the board we can see that right now it's 1-1 who is dominating, but we have to wait for Lunox to get to that level 4 to start using as many skills as possible just to keep that 1-1 on the shutdown position. So I don't think there is exactly going to be any skirmish in the early game, because seeing that Chow is just making sure that Fedrin's position is known by their team. He is there in the map just to show the places around, but again, I don't think there is possibly a team fight coming in before the first turtle, but probably there might be chances in the bot that someone or the other just dies or they can retreat. I'm not gonna lie about that.
Yeah, that was a beautiful skirmish happening down in the bottom lane with Doom with some sneaky plays, making sure that he does something and delay down the recalls, making sure they get the upper hand in the upcoming turtle, which will be just spawning down in the minor 10 seconds. So this kind of a micro plays really help your team by certain seconds, and those certain seconds are really exclusive. But the damage.
I mean, that was actually a very, very beautiful first blood coming in by Sicilian, and it was very clean and smooth. But the turtle has already begun, and we see that Chow is already taken down, and Fedrin will manage to secure the first turtle, as well as CC goes, Joy goes down, and very low Teresla will be going down at the same time. I mean, you have just given out 4 bloods to Team Assam at this point, and man, they are dominating. Sasuke, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. You know, at that was actually the point where you need to be caught. But never mind. That the damage coming in from the Sicilian into this early game near 2 minutes of the time, it is so wonderful to see how can he deal. But again, there might be a way of dragon. Maybe not.
I mean, that might be the situation, but again, it's quite hard to stop them in the early game. Yep, they will be having the damage, and they're just using the implosion, and Chow will be picked up here again off guard. So Sasuke, you think this gameplay is going really bad for Team Meghalaya at this point?
Yeah. Looking at the scoreboards and looking at the not the itemization, but the plays itself, it is looking a little bit tragedy into the sides of Meghalaya. They need to pace down their momentum, make sure they don't take the unnecessary fight, especially Doom. He been taken 2 times and twice, that's for sure. But wait a minute, is it insane on that show?
Actually, that is insane out the Chow, and I just realized the Joy is being played by Doom. It's quite surprising though.
That is true, but look at that fight in the bottom lane.
And I think it's just me. Maybe I can't hear you, Sasuke, but there is some reason I can't hear you. But yep, the second turtle is up at this point, and looks like Daddy's and son are trying to get in for the turtle. Pretty low. Joy will have to retreat at this point because Angela is being caught off guard in the mid, and Lunox will secure that kill instantly on that 1-1, which is actually good. Having that goal laner control all by yourself. And I think this turtle again is going to be free of cost for that Fedrin, and they are just increasing the gold gap at this point, Sasuke.
Yeah, that is to a gold gap right now into the hands of Assam, a nearly 40 gold lead as it can. That is something like Assam is capitalizing, and if they keep this momentum right onto the point, they might end it into a mere 10 minutes of the daytime. But looking at the rotations coming in from Assam, they are looking for that top tier tower into their hands, and for the side of Meghalaya, they need to lay down the counter plays. Maybe they need to prioritize the van, give them the farm she needs right now. Breathless is trying, and maybe they might be down this top tower when in the mid lane Tigreal with certain nasty plays is there, but Joy is there. Electrifying League might not be there, but there is the penalty zone connecting two members of Interstellar, but the damage is not there. Breastplate taking his way, but is unable to do so. A nick amount of time if and only if he was there to, just go there and unlock his ultimate. That would be the spice the Meghalaya needs right now.
I mean, I agree. They really need to do something up at this moment because Team Assam is going insane on the whole map. They are trying for the push. They have the kill. They have the goal lead. They have everything possible they require to get this first victory to themselves. But like you mentioned, they can prioritize 1-1 at this point because 1-1 is the one who is dealing the damage already on 2 kills. Might as well as just go for a little more farm and start dealing the damage, showing what exactly she can do in this game changing situation. But as I see, the third turtle is up, and sadly, Joy is kind of in a lot of trouble because 0-2 for a jungler is not really a great score. And that Lunox is dealing filthy amount of damage, which is going to be painful. I mean, come on, it's just 7 minutes in the game. You're not even going in for the turtle because you can't, because the gold amount is just increasing and increasing, and it's hard to control at this point. 1-1, although, is going to go in for the split push, and there is going to be a small pause coming in for us just to make sure that everything is on point. So yeah, Sasuke, let's dive right into it.
Yeah, I know. I was hoping like they could turn down their pace, draw their momentum, because having a Joy is a really good option. You got the earlier damage, but I personally feel that the thing the momentum or the plays, the coordination is lacking off in the sides of dads and sons. As you see, like there has been a slightly bit change of roles between Doom and Insane. Like we are seeing Insane onto the show. I'm quite not sure as to why they have done it. Maybe some kind of a thing they need to try it, or maybe some internal things, but that is totally up to them. But the draft, it's totally mind blowing, and I like how they brought these things, but the execution, they need to work it out. Definitely they might be in some goal deficient, but they could turn it off. A good team fight is what they need right now. Terizla need to look into the perfect opportunity where he could panel just use the penalty zone onto the three members, especially that vampire needs to be stuck into the penalty zone, and then only then they would have the tides into their favor with the Joy and the Van into their hand, going and dealing and dishing out the damage they need right now.
I mean, that can be the situation, okay? The thing is, even if Terizla try jumping at this state of point, there is Tigreal who can just give that dash out, and knowing that Sicilian and Lunox are dealing that insane amount of damage, which is quite high. I'm not gonna lie, it's like too much. I mean, the Lunox has zero shutdown on herself, and the farm is just increasing, which is giving them the opportunity to, have the control of everything. And you know how easy it is for Lunox as well as Sicilian, because they are the late game hero, they are the damage dealer, and there is no one to stop at all. You can try to push in the Terizla in the front position, trying to catch 3 to 4 people, but again, um, is it going to be possible for Terizla to deal that much amount of damage is what really matters, because end of the day they have Chow, who is the roamer, but the mid laner is quite highly missing. The magic damage which they are dealing is quite low, and they need to work on that part, because Angela is there, but again in a support form as a mid laner won't be able to do much. It's easy to pick off Angela as much as I know. So yeah.
Down to
I
the,
think the game is about to begin, and we can jump into the game right quick, Sasuke.
Absolutely, and we might see a shutdown, a quick shutdown coming in from the side of Assam, taking down that sandbag. Terizla out of the game, and they might look for more as Tiger illusion having that flicker, not a flicker, but this. He has the inclusion. Never mind, he used the inclusion. My bad onto that, but surely they would be looking for something more, and this time they are looking for that blue buff, taking down and choking down the farm over to that Doom. Absolutely Blaze turning, Venom securing down that blue buff with Retribution. The Lord might be coming into the 70 seconds, so they need no, that's the Meghalaya. They have the 70 seconds timer to go for it, but the vampire came on to that. Sicilian is not letting everyone, and the amount of damage he's dealing with the Lunox farm is just too insane. The magic damage coming in from this team is way too good. Venom might be looking into some trouble, but that Joy would be just slipping it out right away. Was looking for some kind of a sneaky place. Maybe he could get his hands over to that Lunox or maybe a Sicilian, the targeted damage dealers. But looking at the itemization, smiling.
I mean, if you look at that Angela, all she has right now is just Flask of Voices, and hardly I think she is going in for that Guinness one, which requires a lot of stuff, and she's quite low though, because being a mage, you need a damage, you need a lot of itemization, it's quite low. Meanwhile, Lunox already has Sky Piercer as the first build, knowing that she is on 4 kills. That's going to be a lot of damage and it's going to hurt a lot. But again, Sicilian also is farm, knowing that Fedrin is going with the tanky build and not even a single damage item. It's quite surprising, but yeah, they are dominating. They need the front laner. I mean, it's going to be so hard to stop the Fedrin at this point. But yep, the first Lord is up, and they are going to go in for the Lord contest free. And yep, that Lord will be taken by Team Assam. And all I'm wondering at this point is, will Team Meghalaya will they be able to defend this first Lord? Because it's going to be very, very hard.
I mean, there are chances like Joy could do so, but I'm quite not sure because you got the Sicilian into your hands, which would the vampire problem with the ultimate, and the slabs which the Sicilian would be providing, and also the Lunox or the Ruby DD combination would be coming into the handy. I could sense that like Scarecrow is saving that flicker, not the flicker, but yeah, he could essentially do that with the implosion. So that Interstellar, they are looking forward to end it, but again a beautiful implosion connecting down that Lord Insane, and hard guard being popped up over to that Van. So no hard guard, and also oh wait, they already pushed down their bot lane. So that's and sons, they were unaware of the Lord situation, and it caused down them the bottom inhibitor with some sneaky plays. And again, Tigreal might look for something more, but Joy with a sneaky plays trying to clear it out the top lane, and he will definitely be succeeded. And I'm quite not sure as to you should be chasing down that Joy, because he is the sneakiest one. You need to have certain sustainability, the not the sustainability, but the suppression ability to catch down. But wait a minute, Terizla using down the penalties on connecting no members, missing down miserably at that point. But Interstellar, the Assam representative, looking strong, and they will be just taking down that blue buff right away. That is the implosion they were looking for. Doom might be in some trouble. Back up. Ruby DD combination, the light form will be taking up, but this time it will be Who's Peter securing down that kill, but the other ones will be falling down to the hands of Scarecrow as the Sky Piercer itemization and stacks will be the one. But there is the penalty zone, but where is the damage? You are lacking down the damage, and that is the vampire slapping it down left and right, center uppercut. Damage. I mean, this guy's damage is just insane, but I'm not sure. That last thing though, yeah, exactly.
With that tribe, they have the damage, but the chase coming is so insane. Implosion will be taking out the lead. I think they are going to go down very badly at this point. Ooh, what did I just witness?
That is the buff that Fredrin received the ultimate. I mean, the third skill for the Fredrin, you get certain stacks. I do believe like it is a 25% physical and magical defense stack you get. Not the stack, but yeah, the plus 25 percent you get, and that is the thing. You could literally counter one, but again a Way of Dragon connecting down CC, and there is it. But the penalty is on connecting down three members, and this time Van will be the one securing down. There's the one, there's the two. She's looking for the third, the greedy one, breastplate, looking for it. But there is the implosion connecting down. No way that he's going to be saved again. Defying all the odds, that is the triple kill, but the vampire taking down, draining the blood out of that sneaky marksman, falling down. That will be the last man standing. Imagine, will be with the tiger looking for a certain place, but that is the retribution you have for the side of Meghalaya. What is that Lord section?
And this is actually going to give them a chance of comeback because come on, you just Van was actually the key of this whole situation. That pick really rocked at that point, taking three members down completely by yourself. I mean, there was Angela on right on top of you, but again, that was a good play. So this time, I think they have the chance of comeback. Although I don't think they can possibly go in for high level pushing, but a defensive chance, something like pick off at least one or two members because Joy is in trouble. Angela will be using ultimate team fight might break in.
Oh, good cutie! Shouldn't have do it at this point. A big mistake coming in from that guy might really result that Sons into a tremendous mistake. Maybe they they had a really good chance to end or take the map control into their hands, but with that Kori Cutie, the Terizla, the sandbag, the initiator from the Meghalaya representative is down, so there is a more room for Assam to roam freely and fight with the Tigreal's implosion along with the setup. But wait a minute, they secure down the mid tower. Beautiful though, but the if we still look into the map, we see a lot of red areas than the blue areas. So in spite of that lot, in spite of those plays, it's clearly stated that Interstellar are looking strong and looking forward for one more thing. And I have to say, smiling, one mistake and Meghalaya representative would be down for this game number one because they are already into the rank of the death because they have lost down the one inhibitor tower into the mid lane, and the mid one is literally hanging down with the threads of a little string.
Maybe that's exactly the situation, right? Although Team Assam has the opportunity, they have everything, but I like the fact that how Daddies and Sons actually managed to cover all the goal lead, even took the lot, tried to go in for the minimum push, even they could. I mean, there was Terizla who was caught off guard, but again, that was actually a good defense. They bought themselves some time, which was good, but again, as you mentioned, one member down and it's going to be down in the rain because we can quite easily, and the mid is almost done, and the bottom side, the base is quite wide open. This time, I don't think Team Assam is going to go and look in for any fight because they know the second enhanced lord is going to come up, and that's their opportunity, that's their call, and that's what they should actually focus on rather than chasing anyone or someone down, which is actually a smart move because you focus on your objectives and not on chasing people down to death. So, yeah, they have positioned themselves quite well at this point. They are just probably going to start right into it, not waiting for enemies to show up their faces at this point. And yep, I think there might very rarely be a situation though.
Oh, that was a beautiful penalty zone along with that implosion, but I do believe like they should not do it, but again, Scarecrow will be taking down that Tigreal, not a Tigreal, but a Glory Cutie, that Rizla, but this time Venom might be in some trouble. Winter Crown popping down, but that won't be enough as you manage to take down that kill, but again, a beautiful flicker combination coming in from Lord Insane. The chase is on. Who is Peter lingering into the death's verge of death, but this time with the yo-yo stacks, he is chasing down, but the Van is onto him. The damage dealer for the sides of Meghalaya representative is on breastplate if and only if he was there in the previous team fight, the Lord fight, which they needed it, they would have it wiped out. But even though he was not in the team fight, he did a stupendous job clearing and taking down the top two tiers though. But this time he might be in some trouble. But there is the inclusion flickers and the damage coming in from Sicilian will be more than enough to take him down. A crucial damage dealer being taken down. But there is the penalty zone connecting down the Sicilian and the damage from this Joy. Oh my, smiling. I have to say, these teams are looking for blood rather than seeing for the win.
I mean, come on, you gotta wait for your whole team to show up there. I know you took the Lord, you can go in for the push and probably even end. Only if your whole team was there, two people against four, you had no chance of standing actually. Because there is Terizla just to, knock you off there, and the Chow just coming in with the knockups, and this time Lunox and Fedrin are quite in open chase by almost four people at this point.
Oh, penalty zone connecting down, but this time Frederick might be taken down because the damage coming in from Doom is more than enough, and I do believe that this Angela is working fine for that Joy along with the breastplate who is on Van Van. But talking about the Van Van later, who is Peter doing some amazing job making sure, but the damage is dealt and he's trying to go for it, but again a beautiful implosion connecting down. There is the penalty zone connecting down three members. The Sicilian is the one which are the target for the Meghalaya, and he'll be taken down as insane. Will be marking down that Lunox, and oh my, what a turns of tide this time. Dads and sons representation of Meghalaya looking strong in this previous and last fight.
Honestly, I thought there was no chance of comeback seeing the early game, but we are here in the 20 minutes of the game. And I think this is Lord number 4 which is going to spawn, and definitely Team Meghalaya has the advantage to go in for the Lord. They can go in very easily knowing that there is 1-1 to deal the damage, and Joy who has regained the damage which can be dealt and melting that Tigreal as well as Fedrin. I mean, come on, Fedrin is gone for full tank build, and yet being melted off quite easily is the hardest point of this life. I mean, yeah, but as I mentioned, Meghalaya will secure this Lord, and it is going to be easy because other members of Team Assam just respawned from the base, and yeah, they had the opportunity, they went in for it, and a very smart play by 1-1, which was done earlier, was going in for the push, and that actually paid them off. The Lord is marching from the top, and it's a very crucial moment for Team Assam because they had everything in this game in the early game. Honestly, they have the late game heroes, but again, it's not working as well as they thought it would work. The Lord is still marching, the positions are being discovered, and we might possibly see a team fight coming in. Although, Sasuke, do you think they'll be able to defend here?
Oh, I don't think, because they got a strong, really strong vampire unless and until Doom, along with an insane, make sure they goes down. But this time, their target is who is Peter Brother. Again, a stupendous, marvelous, fantastico. That penalty zone connecting down three members, and there is the combination of Joy, but the damage is there from the side of the Sicilian. But look at that. Beautiful breastplate is marking down that tower. But this time he might be in some trouble. But wait a minute. The dashes are there. He might be going down as yes, he will. The damage from Peter is on point. But look at the base. Smiling. Look at the base.
I mean, who is Peter just took them off. Meanwhile, others were just distracting them. And surprisingly and very, very knowingly, they took this victory too. Oh, and man, what a victory coming in by Team Meghalaya. I mean, in starting, they were being belted and they're like, just wait for us.